today our topic is making of independent India's constitution. Whenever we talk about constitution, it is important to understand basic definition of constitution. What is constitution? It is a set of basic principles and laws of a state, country or social group by which people in that group, state or country will be governed. The functions and powers of government will be explained and citizens will be given some rights in that constitution. This is the basic definition of constitution. When we talk about the need for constitution, the constitution is important for explaining the relationship between citizens and governments. It is also important to maintain harmony between different ethnic groups and religions in a society. When there is no constitution, when there is no rules and regulations, there will be lot of conflicts in society. All the conflicts in society will be eliminated with help of constitution. When we talk about framework and drafting of Indian constitution, two important committees played a major role. The first one is Constituent Assembly, second one is drafting committee. With work of so many great intellectuals of India, the drafting was completed and it was adopted on 26th November 1949. When we talk about implementation of our Indian constitution, it was implemented from 26th January 1950. We celebrate that day as Republic Day. Every year, January 26th will be celebrated as Republic Day to remember importance of the day on which the Constitution of India was implemented. When we talk about this drafting committee and Constituent Assembly, we must discuss about some great leaders and intellectuals of India. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Babu Rajendra Prasad, Jawaharlal Nehru, Durgabai Deshmukh, Tanguturu Prakasam Pantulu, Neelam Sanjeev Reddy. All these great leaders and intellectuals of India played a major role in Constituent Assembly and drafting committee of our great constitution. When we talk about the role played by Constituent Assembly, this Constituent Assembly was elected in July 1946, but its first meeting was held on December 9th, 1946, and Babu Rajendra Prasad was elected as head of this Constituent Assembly. When we talk about drafting committee, it was elected by Constituent Assembly, it was appointed by Constituent Assembly on 29th August 1947. Drafting committee was appointed after independence. The work of Constituent Assembly was started well before India attained independence. When we talk about drafting committee, it was headed by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. One of the great intellectuals and politicians of India, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was head of Indian drafting committee, which was appointed by Constituent Assembly on 29th August 1947. The work of drafting committee started immediately. When it was adopted, there were 395 articles and 8 schedules in our constitution. Today we have close to 450 articles, and even the size went up to greater extent due to lot of amendments took place to our constitution. When we talk about ideals of our constitution and characteristics of our constitution, no need to read much from Indian constitution. If you just read preamble of Indian constitution, you can realize ideals of Indian constitution. You can also understand basic characteristics of Indian constitution. The preamble will look in this manner. When you read this preamble, you will see different words like justice, equality, fraternity and liberty. When we talk about justice in terms of social, political and economic front, justice is applicable to all the citizens of India. All the people are equal in terms of law and in terms of opportunities in India, so equality is present. Fraternity, all Indians are considered as brothers and sisters. When we talk about the fourth one, that is liberty, freedom in all aspects is given. Freedom of space, freedom of choosing religion, freedom to move around. We have different kinds of freedom, so liberty is present. When we talk about characteristics of our country, we have 5 important characteristics. We are sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. We can see them here: sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. What is sovereign? India will not be dependent on any foreign power or any outside power. Each and every important decision related to the country will be taken by our leaders. That is sovereign. What is socialist? The profits earned by government in terms of using resources and in terms of collection through taxes. They will be used for benefit of all the people living in the country. We call it as socialist. Secular. Indian government will not support any religion. All religions will be equal for Indian government. We call it as secular. When we talk about the fourth one, democracy. What is special about democracy? It is a government of people. People are responsible for selecting the leaders, electing the leaders, and if rulers rule according to the wish of people, they will continue. Otherwise, the rulers will be defeated, the leaders will be defeated in election by people. Republic. When head of a nation is elected directly or indirectly by people, we call such country as republic. As Indian president is elected indirectly by MPs of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and MLAs of all the states, we call India as republic. These are basic characteristics we can understand from observation through preamble. When we talk about work of Constituent Assembly, as we already discussed, the work of Constituent Assembly was started on December 9th, 1946. People from different religions, different regions, different backgrounds, cultures, all the people were considered as members into this Constituent Assembly. Some of the members were elected from provinces. Provinces were ruled directly by British. And some of the members were nominated through consultation with the princely states. So the members of Constituent Assembly were elected directly through provincial elections, and some of them were also elected through consultation of princely states. Princely states sent some of their members to Constituent Assembly. From provincial assemblies, the members were elected directly by people. But the problem was only 10% of people were given right to vote. In 1936-37 elections and even in 1946 elections, only 10% of population was given right to vote. There was no universal franchise when our constitution was, when our framework of constitution was started. Based on Government of India Act 1935, elections were held in 1936 and 37. Gandhiji was not interested in politics. When people were divided into four groups, the four groups of people were Hindu group, Muslim group, peasant group, and people who demanded for self-respect, especially outcast people and depressed classes. Self-respect movement was started during the same time. When we talk about Hindus, the group of Hindus was led by Hindu Mahasabha. This is religious nationalism. The second group, Muslim group, was led by Muslim League. Peasants demanded for their own rights instead of supporting religious politics like Muslim League and Hindu Mahasabha. Some of the peasant groups went in their own way and peasant associations were established all over India. They fought for their own rights. The fourth group, self-respect movement, like Ramaswamy Naikar in Tamil Nadu, Bhaskarrao Jadhav in Maharashtra. All these people were responsible for self-respect movement in Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. When we talk about this self-respect movement and the leadership towards depressed classes, we must discuss about Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. The role of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was so great for depressed classes and outcast people. Whatever rights they are enjoying today, whatever freedom they are getting in society, this is all due to great work of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. By observing the problems of outcast people and depressed classes in society, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar established Depressed Classes Association in 1930. He demanded for separate electorates like Muslims. When Muslims were given separate electorates, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar requested for separate electorates for these outcast people or depressed classes. With this, Gandhiji declared fast unto death. There was an agreement between Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, which is famously known as Pune Pact. Instead of separate electorates for these depressed classes, some reservation for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes was given through Pune Pact of 1932. In the same year of 1932, there was also another agreement. It was known as MCBS Pact or Raja Munjay Pact. This was done to seek cooperation of outcast people in elections. Congress party wanted to maintain friendly relationships with outcast leaders, so they went for an association or pact with these outcast leaders. This is famously known as Raja Munjay Pact, and Congress party had friendly relationship with the outcast leaders, and they got support of these depressed classes in elections. The work of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar did not end with the Pune Pact of 1932. He was not happy with the events that took place after Pune Pact of 1932. So what he did? All India SC Federation was established in 1942. Scheduled caste political conference was held in Allahabad in December 1942. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was invited to this meeting to share his valuable opinion and to give direction for different leaders of depressed classes. In November 1944, there was a non-party conference conducted by Tej Bahadur Sapru. Different intellectuals of depressed classes attended this meeting, and all those people demanded for more freedom, more liberty, and elimination of all kinds of discrimination from society. With all this, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar became one of the prominent and real representative of Dalit people and depressed classes. He raised his voice properly. He raised his voice in a proper, right manner. So he was respected by British officials. He was respected by Congress leaders. He was respected by almost everyone in the country at that time. From a leader of depressed classes, he became a great intellectual and leader for whole country. Why Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was respected by all the people and all the political leaders? He was a great historian. He was a great politician. He was a great economist. He studied about constitutions of different countries. So with all his qualities, he was respected by people all around India. Today, he was respected as one of the great intellectuals all over the world.